What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today's video is gonna be a little bit different. This is less of a guide, and this is gonna be just a UI video. I just want to go over my UI, everything about it. I get asked constantly about my UI. You're probably watching this and have seen my UI already if you watch the stream. This is a very short example of it. I'm gonna go over every single add-on I have and every week or where to find it. It'll all be in the description, okay? But before we start, please follow me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/CrixVibes, where I stream 6 days a week, all types of shit, always get into some trouble, but the good kind of trouble, in the Guild Fusion, where we got Realm First and a whole bunch of other kind of cool shit, so I'm kind of excited about it. Yeah, that's not what you're here for, so let's get into it. Okay, so to get started, the first add-on I want to talk about is LVUI. This is just because everything, it changes everything. It changes your quest log, it changes your chat down here, it changes quite literally everything that you see, it's going to change. I love it. It changes nameplates. You can also, some people like to use like the action bars from LVUI while using like you know shadow unit frames or whatever. That's completely okay. LVUI mixes with a lot of things. I use this one personally because I like it the best. I like my stuff not to be hidden like this. I have mouse overs when I mouse over things. These don't glow unless I'm in combat or if I'm clicking somebody. So yeah, in order to get this, I'm not going to sit there and go over everything on the LVUI, but if you want this, it will also be in the description below. It's just called Best LVUI Link. It's got almost 17,000. You can see people really like this one. So you see this raw paste data, click this button to copy paste it, and then you just go back in game. If I could somehow show you what it looks like default. There you go. There's default. So this is default LVUI right here, okay? Complete default, which doesn't look that bad actually if you look at it, but I obviously don't like that. So you open up LVUI, click down. You're going to be up here when you start. So go down here and click profiles, click import, copy paste that big link earlier, press import now, and press accept. This will copy every bit of LVUI that I have. Now, some things about this that are standard is like on LVUI, when you get into a vehicle, your bar 1 changes. That's not going to happen. I've made it so it's not going to do that. If you ever, now a couple things people don't like typically is some people don't like that these are hidden. These are mouse overs. It's completely understandable if you don't like that. If you do not like that there are mouse overs, this is a very easy fix. This is as simple as pressing escape, clicking LVUI, either finding what action bar you want or just simply clicking toggle and finding what you want to change. And whatever you change, you can just right click it and it'll bring you to that thing. And then just click on Inherit Global Fade, right? Here's the 3 different phases. Lock it. You have showing all the time. These are an inherent global fade. That means they're faded, but you can barely see them. And you can also adjust how much you want to see them. And then this one right here is a mouse over. Okay. So you can also change, back in the general, you can change how much you want them to, the global fade transparency right here. So if I'm using an example of 1, I like it fading, which is good. If you didn't like this one right here, mouse over, you can go over here, right click it to find it, true, unmouse over, and then it'll no longer be a mouse over. You'll see it permanently. That's my consume. That's a consume. So what I like to do is, these are my main abilities. And also like on my mage, for instance, I don't show these side ones right here. I just mouse these over too, because I don't need them as much as I warlock. A warlock needs like so many bars, so it looks something like this, and whenever I need something, I can just kind of hover it over it with no issues. Let me fix that because I'll forget later, and then I'll be like, oh, where'd my bars go? Okay. Next up, after LVUI, with LVUI, it changes chat and everything, so that's kind of all you do. Next thing up here is WeakAuras. I'm going to go over WeakAuras last because there's a lot to go over with WeakAuras. Details. This is details. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to use it. This is what people would use instead of recount. If you did not know, if you are using recount, I would highly suggest not using it. Now, normally in raid, I look like something like this, where I'll have like, 2 or 3 chat, or 2 or 3 windows up, maybe a 4th one up if I had the raid lead for anything, because then I can have my damage meters, the overall damage meters in general, because I personally like to see more than the top 5, and overall damage if I'm doing dungeons or raids or something like that. Maybe like this can be a healing one, and then this one can be threat, right? The details has a threat meter, has everything you need. You can also change this to whatever you want. You can keep deaths, friendly fire, or whatever it is. I just personally keep something along the lines of this because I personally like it. It's no big deal, right? And then you can also, if you enter /details hide, it hides it. Okay. If you /details show, it'll show them back up, and you just click this little icon here. Oh, and you can also click this gear icon and change your name. You can change your name to whatever you want it to be. I can put it Bob, whatever, Crix. You get anything you want and press enter. And what happens is when you reset this and go into a new match, everybody who has details will see your name as whatever you input it, which is kind of cool. If you're setting up details for the first time, some things I would just blindly trust me on is clicking the setting wheel, changing your name to whatever you want, uncheck, making sure all these are unchecked. What this does is this is overall damage in your raid and your dungeons, and it will reset off each boss unless you do this. So uncheck these. Look at update interval. It'll be on like 20 when you start. Move it down to 5. This will make it update faster. Go down the general settings and bars, move to 24, and then text and move to 23. That just makes it, because when you first get LVI, details, it's really small writing. So it just kind of helps you with that. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is RestedXP. RestedXP is the #1 leveling guide in the entire world. It is better than Zygore's before you say anything otherwise. And this is a very customizable, pretty much simply put, it's a questing order that tells you exactly where to go to the T. Where if I was to click, let's go Z, I already leveled here, so it's going to be kind of confusing. See, I was just finding things. I've already quested here, so it knows that, and it's catching up to where I'm at. This arrow automatically updates, and you can change the size and everything of it if you don't like how big it is, or however, anything that you want, right? And when I say that you can start level 1 character or wherever, level 70 character, a fresh boost, put this up here and follow it to a T. You can literally follow I've leveled this entire character from I don't know what level up, just following step go. I would just go over here, fly to where it tells me to go, look at this, turn that in. Okay, now it tells me to go over here, and I keep going back and forth. It's bugging out because it's not buggy, but I've already done these quests, so it's auto updating. This will be in a link. This will be in the description as well. This is a paid add-on, but I feel like it's way worth it if you use my name, Crix, special code. You get a cheaper price on it. If you don't believe me, you can look this up. You can look everywhere. You can do your own due diligence on this. This is objectively known as one of the best add-ons ever for leveling. It covers all the levels, every class, tells you when to go level up. The TBC guide and the rep prides are kind of done, but yeah. Anyway, you get it. Next, DBM. DBM I don't need to tell you about, just get it. I don't think that I need to tell you much about it. DBM tells you what the bosses are going to do, when they're going to do it, and same with the dungeons too. You can also go in here and customize a lot of stuff. A lot of this stuff you can be able to customize. Load the add-on for Nax. You can go to play quarter, go to Noth, and you can select which of his abilities you want to get. Maybe I don't care when he blinking. I'm gonna unannounce that because I don't care when he blinks. Or maybe I do want to care when he blinks, but I don't care when he teleports. So that's where that comes from. Let's see, what do we got here next, guys? Deja character stats. Now what this is this right here. These stats right here. You can close it, minimize it, whatever. Okay. It just keeps track of every little thing of every stat in the world. Once again, it's called Deja character stats. This will be in the description as well. Piggybacking off of my character frame, Itemrack. Now, Itemrack, I personally like Itemrack. I know you can do a lot of these things with like the equipment manager now. I just don't use it because I love Itemrack too much. Okay. So I use Itemrack. What it does is it just lets you simply, a good example, these boots. Good example is Prog boots. We had to wear 3 pairs of boots with different nitro boots. It's easy just to go whoop. Oh, switch. Whoop, switch. Whoop, switch to whatever you want. Now, even better than that, which I can, if you hold down Alt and you left click, it puts it down here. It puts down to whatever slot that is. It puts down here. I can put this, right? It puts them down here, right? Boom. And you can move that to wherever you want by just clicking it, and then Itemrack's right here. You don't have to go. You don't even have to open your character frame. It's just right here. And I put mine like right here or something like that. You can put it so maybe you're switching a pair of gloves, maybe you're switching your belt, maybe you're switching your trinket, which is very common to switch your trinket. You can switch your trinket back and forth. It's just very, very, very easy. You can also do keybinds, character sets, and everything else. Sorry, there's a truck behind me. I don't know if you guys heard me. Anyway, you can drag it everywhere. You can set it for keybinds. You can do everything in the world that you could possibly imagine with it. It's really nice. I love it. Like I said, I know that some people don't use it because they have the equipment manager, but I'm personally team Itemrack. Okay. Next up is going to be a bag add-on of any sort. I use Bagnon personally. Bagnon or Adibags is also a very, very good one people swear by. I've been using Bagnon since literally the beginning of time, since like way back in the day. So I prefer Bagnon, but if I was like a fresh start, I'd probably try Adibags. I don't think I have it installed to actually show you guys what it looks like. I do not, but it does look pretty cool. It kind of looks, puts all your stuff in one bag, simple sort, it just does everything for you. You don't need to worry about it. But Adibags puts it off in sections, like it'll be like, oh, soul shards, reagents, items, weapons, explosives. So it's pretty cool as well. What else do you got here, guys? Spell replay and nug key feedback. So what spell replay does is it does this. It tells you what over here on the left what I press. This is more because I stream and I do videos, but I get asked a lot what this is. It's called spell replay. Now to piggyback off this is this one right here. Okay, there's 2. If you notice that this is called nug key feedback. Thank you, Simon Ice, for showing me this one. The difference on these ones is this one tells you what button I'm pressing at the time I'm doing it. Like, right, if you see me spamming something, right? See my pet in. I'm spamming, and also it goes away really fast, right? You can't customize it too much, so it's like straight into the zoom and you're done, right? Versus this one kind of showing you, what I'm doing over the length of the time where it keeps going and going and going, and it keeps going. I personally like these. These are big streaming tools, big YouTube tools. That's why I use them. So people can wonder what I'm pressing when I do it, you know. Okay, the next one is something called big numbers. This is if you've noticed that my numbers are a little bit bigger than everybody else's. This is just because I have an add-on called big numbers. It's not an add-on, actually. I lied to you. It's not an add-on. Let me get a crit real quick and see if I can. How big the crits are. Yeah, you're not going to see the crits. So I'm just going to keep killing things for a little bit. So what this does is it's not an add-on. It's a command that you put in a script, like just in the game. You just press enter and you press it, right? And I'll show you what it looks like in a second. If I can get one crit, one big one, just so we can get you know what? I'm just going to do this. So I'm going to open up. I'm going to get the big numbers. So what it is you have a command, right? If you look in there in chat, it looks like this. I'll put this in a better description as well. World scale text size 1. That is the normal text size. That is if you were just to simply... That's for if you were just to simply hit him with something. This is what it looks like in the open world, right? Now, if I go like this and add a 0 to it, guess what it does? Guess how much bigger it is? Just a little bit bigger. Just a smudging bigger there, bud. You see what I mean? So I would highly suggest not using a 10. Now, but if we drop it down to about a 5, what does it look like? It's 5, okay? I personally use 2 or 1.5 just because it's a little bit too big, right? Now, if I do it again, I can go 3. What's 3 look like? 3's not that bad. I don't mind a 3. 3's not too horrible. It's a little big though. When you start seeding all the time and critting all the time, it gets kind of crazy, right? Like I said, I personally use a 1.5, 1.5, or 2 because I just feel like it's the best. It's the easiest and the cleanest to do. See if I can kill someone one more time to show you guys. Right. Let me see. Yeah, it's a nice and cozy one. I like that. Put a little dots up. You know what I mean? Oh, I love it. Cozy, cozy, cozy. Okay, next up is let's talk about WeakAuras, which is what you see right here in front of you. WeakAuras gets a little kinky. Okay, WeakAuras pretty much runs this thing. Now, if I get rid of my pet, let's talk about a couple WeakAuras. The main WeakAura that I would suggest is this one. Now, not really this one. I love this one. Comes with this one up top too. What this is doing is it tells you whenever you're missing anything, right? This tells you I'm missing my fell armor. Tells you I'm missing my pet. It tells you I'm missing him soul linked, which he automatically soul links in Lich King, thank God. And then that's telling me I missed my oil, right? Boom, oil's up. That's all your buffs. When you're in a raid setting, it'll also flag for flasks and food and stuff like that too. And even so far as all the buffs. To give you an example of what it all shows, you can go here. Let me close all my WeakAuras so it doesn't get too confusing. And then I'll show just this one. So that's what it looks like. It'll show all these, right? But it only shows the buffs and stuff in raid. So it doesn't get, I did that on purpose. Or I mean, I don't know if he did that or I did that, but it's just the best way to do it. The next one is going to be this one that's underneath what you see right here. This is pretty much everything else. Right here. What you see. If I'm just to close this, looks like this. This auto updates to everything you need. I wish I was a training dummy so these guys wouldn't die. But if I quickly show you with every dot on him, it shows you the dots, right? You see this bar right here? It's ticking down. That's my glyph of life tap. It's telling me that it's matching the buff. Glyph of life tap, right? I got a proc right here. It's telling me I got my procs and stuff. It tells me I got a proc. Oh, I just popped my trinkets and my gloves. So it kind of keeps dynamic, keeps track of all of that. It tells you how much you have left on a potion. I just use an expensive potion just to show you. It tells you the demonic empowerment right there. Okay, eradication. That's only his affliction, but I'm not 100% sure why it shows. Which, to piggyback off this again, because this is the one that I suggest. I can give you a couple here if you don't like that one for some reason. Luxos has made an amazing one. Quasi has made a phenomenal one. There's a lot of these. Elysian. Oh, I don't know how to say their name, bro. I'm bad at names. Aline, Foji. These guys have made phenomenal ones that are just as good. I just personally prefer the one that I'm using because one, he's a guildie and he's a very good warlock. He spends a lot of time on these. But either one of those, I'll have a link to this one in the Discord. In the description, I'll have a link to this actual page right here. So if you want to, actually, I'll just link like Lux's and Quasi's and Elaine's and Foji's because those are the only ones I suggest. They're all good warlocks. I trust them to put every little bit of finesse in there for you guys on it. As for other WeakAuras, one that gets people usually hot and bothered here is, do I have a guy I can kill? Is there anybody I can kill? Is there anybody I can kill? Let me go fight. Let me see if I can. There we go. Okay. So the one that I like the most is this execution range one. It works for all specs. When you are in if you have an executable thing like I do, under 35, that's what it looks like. It lights your character on fire. See? This tells me as demo that I can swing out soulfires. That means I have my decimation up. See? Decimation's up. Use that macro I just pressed. Decimation's up. That's what that is. Decimation, decimation. I keep going. And it tells me that I'm free to just spam them. Boom. Got another proc. See me? And there's a couple other things that we'll talk about too, but this is my favorite one. This is just very open. I know there's a lot of decimation WeakAuras. That's just my favorite one. It lets you know everything about it. Let's move this arrow out of the way. Next, if we open up WeakAuras, or not WeakAuras, I want to, we'll finish WeakAuras first, actually. I don't want to get too confused. So if you do decide to get, okay, this goes for any WeakAura, but if you do decide to get this WeakAura specifically, right, I want to show you guys something. Now, maybe pretend that I'm an AF right now, right? If I was to switch to Affliction, sometimes WeakAuras don't load correctly, right? This WeakAura will say meta, but really I don't have meta as Affliction, right? So what I want to do is you can change anything. All you need to do is when you open up WeakAuras, right? Click this till it's closed. Boom. Once it's closed, you can then go to the WeakAura that you want, right? And then open it. Now what you want to do is you want to click this. When you click that, as soon as you click this, the reason I say close it is because once you have all eyes closed, what you click is going to be it right there. Something else is open. What is it? Everything closed? Are we good? Oh. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Okay, everything's closed. Now, with everything closed, you can now click your panel. So say you want one thing to change. Let's say I want meta to change. You can simply click that. It'll bring you to the meta page, right? Obviously, it's going to be under something as Wrath rotation, but it's going to bring you here. Say you didn't want this to show. You can literally just click load and click never. That means that will never show. Now, this is obviously if you're not that spec, right? You can also, now it could be annoying. Say you're going from Affliction to Demo. So that means every time I go to Affliction, I have to sit there and go into here, hide my Molten Core, or, not load my Molten Core, not load my meta, and then go in there and load UA, Haunt, and everything else. Or another thing that you can do is, this is very helpful for if you play multiple classes or multiple specs, is you go to the load tab, and now you can load only if a player class, or even more so, in the case of Metamorphosis, I can click Talent, select Talent, and then click Metamorphosis. So now meta will only show when I'm in meta or whatever. This is just an example. You can use any class, anything you want. You can literally use anything you want and that'll work. Okay. That goes for if you swap specs. Now, if you're wondering, it can be annoying trying to find these things, but like I said, if you just click this, right, and then you can see it right here. If I click this, what highlights? No, that's not my rotation. That's a mana bar. That's an execute timer. That's an execute timer. That is my tap for Glyph of Life tap. Okay, these are procs. Oh, there we go. Rotation. Boom. Cool. I found it. Now you just click what you need until you find it. That's all you do. Click, click, click. Load. Do whatever you want with it. Okay. Anything that has a sound on here. Some people with this WeakAura has a loud like popping sound. Any kind of sounds. I personally love this sound right here. There's a Drain Soul tick. It makes a gunshot whenever I get a tick of Drain Soul. But also on a much more annoying, there is I already turned it off. I don't know what caused it. I think it was these ones right here. Anything with if there's a sound that annoys you, go in there and look for the sound icon. When you see the sound icon, you simply click it and then click actions and then unclick play sound. And that's it. Or change the sound or loop it or whatever you want to do. Let's see. That was for WeakAuras. Now, some other stuff WeakAuras while we're in this, which I will link, is don't release. You are beautiful. Oh, actually, it says don't release, you fucking bum. I changed it. Now, you can obviously change this to say whatever you want. Display, change the title. This is because we have this because when now, you know how you reset sated and stuff when the boss dies and all your cooldowns, you can mess that up if you release too early. So this is just kind of to remind me, do not release until Raid Leader calls it or until everybody's dead. Decimation is that exact right here. You already saw it. Demonic Pact. This is a WeakAura to track your Demonic Pact. And if I have an example here, it'll track your Demonic Pact. So when he goes up, it'll be right here. I put it right here, so you'll see it when you go whenever you crit. Let's see if you can crit. You're live on Channel 4 News, Felguard. Can you get a crit? You're live. Can you get a crit? You got a crit. Cool. So see how it's there. You got a crit. It's up. It's up. Right there. So you can move that wherever you want. I just put it there. This is to keep track of your highest snap. This is to keep track of your time on it, and simple enough. Let's see what else we got here. Power Infusion. What this does is it gives you PI, as you can imagine. Oh, this is the one I want. One of these is not the one I want. Is it this one? Let me see. I can find out by... Yeah, no. This is not the one. It's this one. What this does is it tells you the cooldown of it, whose PI it is, and who they did it to last. So this kind of helps you track if you're one of the PI guys, you can track it. Now, Foji made a beautiful... This is more for an Affliction. For you Affliction guys out here, this will also be in there. Foji made a beautiful snapshotter for your corruption. This will tell you... This is the dopest thing ever. I'm not affing this character to show you, but this will tell you if you're missing any kind of things on your corruption. So say if this said plus 5%, that's because you forgot to put ISP up. That means you can re-snap your corruption. So if there's a green number plus right now, technically that would say that my corruption doesn't have anything. if I re-corrupt, it'll have 141%, damage increase, which is not going to happen right now, obviously, but you get it. That's for you guys. Nightfall, if you have Nightfall, but instead of I wouldn't worry about Nightfall because I have another add-on I'll show you in a second. Equipped items is a very big deal. That's the one that keeps track of all your items. Shout out to Neat for showing me that one. That'll be in the thing as well. Tim's WeakAura pack. This is a side note. This is just what I think everybody should use this. This keeps track of everything. Don't worry, it only does one at a time. Well, I mean, if there's two, but it's not going to go across your roll screen. This will keep track of everything in the world that has to do with the raid settings at all. I think I would borderline say mandatory and to get it. And Liz, my friend Liz, made a very good WeakAura. This is a tracker that will keep track of everything as well. She made it herself. This keeps track of your 25%. It puts the blue smoke around when your 25% is affliction. It puts the red smoke of your 35 as demo, the purple shadow for nightfall, and the shadow for molten core. I really like it as well, and that's about it. And lastly, let's talk about this. This is just a little WeakAura as well, which will be in the description for anybody leveling. It keeps track of your level and your progress for your level instead of having to use the experience bar. Okay, I think that's it for WeakAuras. Cool. So next up, spell activation overlay. Spell activation overlay is an extremely cool add-on. Let's go down to it. That looks like this. Now, if you look at it first glance, it looks confusing. You see that right there? That's what it is. Now, what this does, and you can change everything you want. There's not a lot of settings to it. If I can give you a plain example, let's corruption, give you molten core. Let's see if I can get a molten core proc. I got a molten core proc, okay? So now I got a molten core proc. Look, wings, right? Third one comes up, it tells you have 3 stacks of them. You just blast. One goes away, you don't have it, okay? Oh, it also puts one up for molten core too. I mean decimation too, but I prefer the fire. These are very important because it lets you keep track of it's one less thing for you to worry about. Toggle test. Now you can go here and you can mess with everything in the world and how big do you want it and everything else, okay? But yeah, I would definitely, and this works for every class in the game. I've done it on all the casters. That's the only classes I play. I've done it on all the casters. This is the only, I'm talking Nightfall procs, frost. I mean, Fingers of Frost, brain freeze on the main. I mean, I can't think of too many procs. Every proc in the world, every class, it has not been missing one. So I highly suggest this. It helps you keep track of everything. Okay, doesn't make a sound. It's just nice and simple and go. Let's see, Atlast Loot. I probably don't need to talk to you about Atlast Loot. /AL to bring it up once you get it. This just lets you go through the raids and just lets you go through the raids and just look at all loot. Nothing more than that. It lets you do the crafting. It lets you look at the crafting. Hey. It lets you look at the crafting stuff. PvP faction, the PvP gear, Deadly Gladiator, mounts, everything. Oh, these mounts look dope. I didn't know the mounts look like that. You can switch back to TBC, Lich King, Classic, whatever you want. Doom cooldown pulse is another favorite. I don't think I have a way to show you it though. It's a short cooldown. I think we can use this. All right, so we're gonna hang out for 60 seconds. At the end of this glove cooldown, I'll be able to show you. So what Doom cooldown pulse does, I get asked this all the time too, is when something comes off cooldown, it flashes it very, very, very quickly in the middle of your screen. Right in the middle of your screen. Yeah, there's no settings for it either, which is kind of crazy. Wait, do I have it? Yeah, I do. Flashes it in abilities icon in the middle of the screen when it comes off cooldown. Yeah, well, I mean, apparently, let me see if I can get there's a command for it. There's no command for it. Yeah, so there's nothing to do you can really do for it. We'll just wait for it to come off cooldown. It's about 20 seconds. I fly around my nether drake because I am too bougie for the bronze drake mount, okay? I got this a couple days before launch. Leave me alone. Now, 19 seconds. I like this a lot because a lot of the times when you're playing, especially when you're looking at WeakAuras, you're looking right up here, you're not doing that. I guess I could have just use Shadow Flame and it'll come off cooldown quicker. But it just flashes it. You'll see it here in 5 seconds. 4, 2. Right there. That was it. Right there, both. And now you'll see Shadow Flame come up. That's all that does. That's literally all. One more time, just for the one time. That's all it does. I love that. It helps me so much. It helps me just. It doesn't make any sounds or anything. It's kind of just a subtle reminder that something's off cooldown. Okay, that's all it is. Even though it'll come back off cooldown right now. Perfect. Next up is something called hiding bar. It is this right here. So when you get the add-on, it starts here. What this is this is all your circles that you have on your mini map right now. Yeah, you, unless you're using this, you have all these right now, bro, sitting there on your map. Hiding bar is a very simple add-on. It shoves it all right there. And guess what? It hides it. That's all I got to tell you. You can hold down Alt, click this yellow bar, move it to where you want. Okay. That's all this add-on does. It's really nice though, because I'm all about clutter. It declutters a lot of stuff. Okay, MRT Notes. I've talked about this before. I think this is something that's very important because you can do something very simple with it. Okay, you literally enable it. Right, that brings up a notepad right here, a customizable. You can put it as big as you want. I simply keep it like right here, but I'll show it big for this reason. So there's no, you can obviously change the color of everything. You can do whatever, anything that you want. You can change the text, icons, whatever you want. Now, why I like this is because you can go, hello, YouTube, you're gorgeous. How do you spell gorgeous? 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 Cool. Send it. Now it's on the notes. This means you can go, you can literally go, let's go star, Warlock. Change the color if you want. Banish. Star, banish, star. Warlock's banish, star. Send it. Star, banish, Warlock. Obviously zoom in. You got to mess with the settings yourself. I'm not going to sit there and mess with them for you guys. They're right here, the font size and stuff, right? You have it be whatever you want. And then you can go drop down and go, you know, let's go Druids. Boomy. Cyclone. You know, circle. Send it. It could be imagine a long list of things, right? You can do this for yourself. And the thing about this is your raid leader, if you guys have method raid tools, is where it comes from, method raid tools. If you guys have it, he can pass, the raid leader passes the message. Okay. Hey, don't fucking stand and fire. Send. And you can stand, you know, you see what I mean? He can do that whenever. I love this. It's very good. It's very helpful. Next up is something called Old Gun Sounds. I can't show you what it is because I don't have a hunter right now, but what it does is it's just simply called Old Gun Sounds. What it does right here, it literally makes every gun sound in the game sound like a sniper or sound like a silenced pistol. It's dope. That's all I gotta say. Just a quick little, no matter what gun, your gun, anybody's gun around them. I do it because I hate guns in like fantasy world. It like breaks my immersion and stuff. Very small, random shit. Next up is Myslot. Myslot is very important for only new characters. Maybe if you're going back and forth to beta, you got a lot of characters. What it does is you click export. I click close. If I try to show you quickly what this does, I'm not going to because it takes a minute. So you go Myslot, you export this, you copy it, you go to now say you start a brand new character, no action bars, no brand new character, no action bars, no macros, no WeakAuras, no nothing, no keybinds, and then you go Myslot. Maybe I should show you. First log out and I'll show you. So I'll show you both of them too, the LVI one. Yeah, so what this does is it takes your action, it takes your keybinds, your macros, everything on a fresh character, and it copies them all onto that character, and it saves so much time, it's actually crazy. So I can show you this, watch. Now, which one of my characters need something? Let's go with the bank guy. We'll go with the bank alt. Hope you guys are doing fantastic, by the way. I'm not editing this video, I'm literally just gonna post this, so yeah. Okay, there. So as you can see, everything is normal, so I can't really do anything. But if I go Myslot, copy it, import, now it just put everything on my bars that would be there. Now it's gonna be bugged out because I think I have bartender on or something. Yeah, bartender on. But you get it. It just copies all your action bars, all your WeakAuras, everything else in the world. Okay, next up is Threatplates. This takes over the nameplates on LVI, which you sometimes have to turn off and make sure you don't have on, right? And what this does is it gently places my dots right above here. I can see every dot that's up there, no matter what it is. I can see other people's dots if you so choose. I love it so much. It's my favorite one. And they stack. Very important part of this is they stack. You can stack nameplates instead of having them spread out. It's what I use largely in all combat scenarios. And lastly, guys, is just simply the bunnies. Yeah, that's right. The bunnies. These boys right here. The big boys. I have a bunny for almost every class. I've got them from other class discords and other people have sent it to me. I did not make them myself. I have almost one for every class. And if you want them, you can simply go to my Discord and go to the channel marked Bunny at the top. And you could have them for yourself. All right, guys. I think that's it. That's all my add-ons. That's all my WeakAuras. That's everything I could possibly use in the game. I know this is a longer video with no scripting, but guess what? I just wanted to get it out there. So I hope it helps you guys. Any other videos that you guys need, just let me know and I'll get them start making. I just got back in town from TwitchCon yesterday, so I'll be spamming videos and a lot of them, okay? Hope you guys enjoyed this and just, yeah, have fun with it. It's a lot of fun. I love Warlock. This works for a lot of classes too. Obviously the WeakAuras are more like Warlock related, you know, but yeah. See you on the next one, boys.